Have you ever woken up, looked down, and quietly wondered, is this just what happens after 60? You're not alone. And no, what you're feeling isn't just normal aging. I'm Dr. Jonathan Prescott. For over 3 decades, I've helped thousands of men across the country restore their strength, their confidence, and yes, their masculinity. Not through prescriptions, not through surgeries, but by changing something far simpler. Breakfast. Here's what most men don't realize. The first hour of your day can either quietly sabotage your circulation or help you rebuild it from the ground up. You see, there are 5 foods, simple, familiar, often sitting right in your kitchen, that can dramatically improve blood flow, pelvic strength, and morning vitality. They're not exotic, they're not expensive, but when used right, they can help your body feel alive again, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how, step by step, no fluff, just food that works, with your biology, not against it. Because as one of my 70-year-old patients told me after making just one small change, "Doc, I woke up feeling like I was 40 again." If that sounds impossible, stay with me, because sometimes the biggest shift begins with the smallest choice, what you put on your plate each morning.
1. Whole eggs, the morning ignition for circulation. I still remember a quiet morning in my clinic. A man in his late 60s sat across from me, clear eyes, tired voice. He leaned in and said, "Doc, I don't wake up like I used to. It's been years." I've heard that sentence more times than I can count. And every time I ask the same question, "What do you eat first thing in the morning?" Most men pause, then answer, "Toast, coffee, nothing sometimes." But here's the truth. The answer is often sitting in your fridge. Whole eggs. Yes, the same eggs you've eaten all your life, but probably never used as a circulation tool. Not just the whites. The yolk is where the magic lives. Inside that golden center is leucine, a powerful amino acid that helps rebuild muscle, especially the deep pelvic muscles that support balance, bladder control, and sexual function. And eggs also deliver vitamin D, B12, and choline, nutrients essential for repairing nerves, building testosterone, and keeping blood vessels elastic and responsive. And the timing matters. In the first hour after waking, your body is more sensitive to nutrients. Yet most men skip real food and reach for sugar or caffeine, draining their system before it even begins. One of my patients tried something simple. 2 boiled eggs first thing in the morning, nothing else. No toast, no butter, just eggs. 4 weeks later, he called. "Doc, I woke up today and felt solid, like I'm back in my own skin again." That wasn't luck. That was his body responding to protein, to fat-soluble vitamins, to nutrients it had been quietly craving for years. So if you've been avoiding eggs because of old cholesterol fears, it's time to reconsider. Science has moved forward, and so can you. It starts with 2 eggs every morning. Simple, natural, and exactly what your circulation's been waiting for.
2. Oats with chia seeds, the Artery cleanser. Henry was 68, retired not long ago, but already feeling like life had slowed too quickly. "I used to walk everywhere," he told me. "Now I avoid stairs. My legs feel heavy." He wasn't sick. He wasn't weak. His circulation was just slowing down, quietly, like it does in so many men. I asked about his breakfast. He shrugged. Whatever's fast, cereal, toast, sometimes just coffee. That's the answer I hear most, and it breaks my heart because those quick carbs do the opposite of what the aging body needs. They spike your blood sugar, trigger inflammation, and tighten blood vessels, especially the small ones that matter most for male vitality. I told Henry to make one change. Swap the cereal for a warm bowl of oats topped with chia seeds. That's it. Why does it work? Oats contain beta-glucan, a unique fiber that gently sweeps cholesterol from artery walls like nature's internal scrub brush. And chia seeds add another layer. They're rich in omega-3s, magnesium, and potassium, nutrients that relax blood vessels, support hydration, and improve pressure and flow. 2 weeks later, Henry called. My legs feel lighter, I'm sleeping better, and, well, there's a spark again, down there. He laughed, a little surprised, a little hopeful. That's what happens when the arteries start to open up again. Not overnight, but steadily, naturally. Men often ask me, do I need big changes? And I always answer, no, you need small things, done right, done early, and done consistently. A bowl of oats, a spoonful of chia. Give that to your body each morning, and over time, it will give something back. Flow, function, and quiet strength you thought was fading.
3. Watermelon, the natural Viagra. Bill was 70. Sharp, skeptical, and funny. When I mentioned watermelon, he chuckled. "Doc, that's a picnic fruit, not a prescription." I smiled, because I hear that often. But the truth is, watermelon contains something that most men over 60 desperately need and don't even know it. It's called citrulline, a natural compound your body converts into arginine, which then becomes nitric oxide, the very molecule responsible for relaxing blood vessels and increasing blood flow. Yes, the same mechanism behind certain little blue pills, but watermelon does it gently, naturally, and without side effects, especially when eaten first thing in the morning, before anything else hits your system. Here's the part most people miss. The highest concentration of citrulline isn't in the red part, it's in the white rind, the part we usually toss away. That's where the real benefit lives. I told Bill, slice it, blend it, eat the white part too. Do it for 2 weeks. Just see what happens. He did, and when he called me back, he didn't joke. His voice was quieter this time. "Doc, I think something's waking up down there." What he was describing wasn't just circulation, it was confidence. That quiet, steady return of presence, of manhood, of himself. You see, it's easy to assume those parts of us have stopped listening, that it's too late. But they're not gone. They're just waiting for the right signal. Watermelon, especially with the rind, is one of those signals. No need for labels, no need for shame. Just one more way to tell your body, you're still capable, you're still alive.
4. Steamed sweet potato plus Celtic salt, the circulation stabilizer. Thomas was 71, not in pain, not sick, but something was off. He said, "I feel slow in the mornings, my legs are dull, my balance feels off." He had tried stretching, more walking, even one of those vibrating leg machines. Nothing helped. Each morning, the same story: heaviness, unsteadiness, and a sense that his body wasn't quite with him. So I asked him, "What do you eat first thing?" He shrugged. "Usually just coffee, maybe toast." That's the most dangerous habit I see. Not skipping food, but skipping function. The body wakes up from a fast and we give it nothing to stabilize the system. I asked him to try something simple. Half a steamed sweet potato, a pinch of Celtic sea salt, and a glass of warm water. Nothing fancy, no protein powder, no pills. Just nourishment the body understands. Here's why it works. Sweet potatoes are packed with complex carbs, the clean kind of energy your leg and pelvic muscles need after a night of rest. They restore glycogen, support balance, and prevent the mid-morning energy crash. Celtic salt, unlike regular table salt, is rich in over 80 trace minerals, including magnesium and potassium. These minerals support nerve signaling, hydration, and muscle activation, especially in the lower body. 3 days later, Thomas called. "Doc," he said, "this morning I stood up and didn't reach for the nightstand. My legs felt grounded again." That's what real circulation feels like. Not speed, not a spike, just control, connection, the quiet return of balance where body and brain meet again. So if your mornings feel shaky or your lower body seems disconnected, try this. Half a sweet potato, a pinch of real salt, and a glass of warm water. Done within 30 minutes of waking up. It's not a trick, it's a reset. And sometimes that's all your nervous system is asking for.
5. Beets, the circulation booster most men forget. Frank was 72, calm, composed, the kind of man who rarely complained. But when he sat down in my office, he spoke plainly. "Doc, maybe my best years are behind me, but a small part of me hopes I'm wrong." He wasn't wrong. He was just missing something his body still needed. Blood flow. Not just to his heart or legs, but to the places most affected by time, stress, and silence. That's where beets come in. They're not flashy, they're not trendy, but beets are one of the richest natural sources of dietary nitrates, compounds that convert to nitric oxide, the very molecule that expands blood vessels, improves oxygen delivery, and restores circulation to the places that quietly fade first. I told Frank to start small, a glass of beet juice in the morning, or a few roasted slices added to breakfast. No powders, no gimmicks, just food. Food that knows how to work with your biology. 1 week later, he returned. Warmer hands, stronger step, and in his own words, "Everything's working again, even the parts I thought were done." That's what happens when oxygen finds its way back. The brain feels sharper, the legs feel lighter, and yes, the manhood you thought had gone quiet stirs. The beauty of beets is that they don't work alone. They amplify. They boost the benefits of everything we've covered so far. Eggs to rebuild muscle, oats to clean the arteries, watermelon to open flow, sweet potato and salt to stabilize the nervous system, and now beets to energize it all. Most men over 60 aren't broken. They're just underpowered. Beets help bring that power back, naturally, reliably, and without side effects. So if you've felt dull, slow, or less like yourself lately, start here, with color, with earth, with what your blood has been waiting for.
6. What you must do from now on. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you, not just for listening, but for caring. Because most men don't. They accept a slow fade. They assume the best days are behind them. But you're still asking questions. That matters more than you know. Here's the truth I've seen again and again. Even in your 60s, 70s, and 80s, the body still responds. Not to pills, not to shortcuts, but to food. Real food. At the right time, in the right way. Let's take one final look at what we've built together. Whole eggs, to rebuild the deep muscles that support movement, confidence, and connection. Oats with chia, to gently clean the arteries, reduce inflammation, and restore healthy blood flow. Watermelon, nature's signal to reopen blood vessels and awaken the systems tied to vitality. Steamed sweet potato plus Celtic salt, to ground your nervous system, restore hydration, and stabilize morning strength. Beets, the circulation amplifier that reconnects you to your energy, your clarity, and yourself. You don't need a perfect diet. You don't need to do it all at once. What you need is to begin. Start tomorrow morning. Pick one food, just one, and give your body a signal it will recognize and trust. Because the changes may come quietly at first. A little more warmth in your hands, a little more balance in your step, a little more presence where it matters most. But stay with it, and those changes become transformation. I've seen it in men who thought it was over, in men who thought they were fading, until they gave their bodies something simple and something true. So now it's your turn. Will you give your mornings back to your body and take back the man you still are?